Can you hear me? It's a great pleasure being here. It's a very thought-provoking panel that we just heard. A few things first. Colombia is bringing to the table one of the most important news for the year, the ending of the conflict with the FARC, the longest-standing conflict in the Western Hemisphere, more than 50 years, the handing out of the guns that happened a few months ago. And that's going to have an important dividend in terms of the peace process, in terms of economic growth, and of course, in consolidating the targets that the Sustainable Development Goals are aiming for. I heard a few things I would like to comment. First, the importance of the private sector in terms of promoting one of the coordination between the public and the private sector. About half of the targets of the SDG are related to private involvement. So if the private sector is not directly involved in this and committed to the attaining these goals, well, we're not going to be there. So the technology is useful for coordinating the process of achieving these goals. I want to mention an example. In Colombia, we have the school feeding program that essentially gives feeding to the kids around the country. We have more than 1,000 municipalities. And there have been some complaints about the quality and the quantity of the feed that is being distributed around the country. So we're working with the private sector, developing applications, developing a way of auditing the process, because this is essentially impossible to do it completely by our own. So the way that the private sector technology brings together the civil society to make sure that the programs that are aimed at increasing and attaining the SDG goals is essentially very important. And another topic I would like to commend is regulation. I heard a few members from the panel about complaining over excessive regulation. Well, I come from the government of Colombia, and we're implementing a sweeping review of the quality of regulation practices. I just want to mention a few facts. First, we did an inventory of the number of regulations that the government issued during the 21st century, the past 17 years. Well, the government has issued 2.7 decrees per day. The decrees are those that are signed by the president. So that tells you there is a problem of inflation in terms of regulation and probably about the quality of regulation. So we're doing a sweeping review of our regulation practices, implementing OECD practices, making sure that the regulation that is issued by the government is one where the benefit of the regulation is greater than the cost. So regulation, good regulation, the quality of regulation is very important for making sure that the private sector and innovation processes are achieving the SDG goals.